A shepherd just met God at a burning bush and got the mission to liberate a nation. But instead of saying yes, he hits the brakes. Exodus 4 is Moses negotiating with God, receiving supernatural tools, and finally heading back to Egypt, only to face a bizarre, life-threatening detour. This is where doubt meets divine power. Let's walk through it. Moses just heard the mission, confront Pharaoh and liberate Israel. But instead of confidence, he's full of doubt. What if they don't believe me? What if they say the Lord didn't appear to me? It's a valid point. You can't just walk up to oppressed people and say, a burning bush sent me. You need irrefutable proof. This isn't some blind leap of faith. This is the beginning of a seriously high-stakes negotiation with God himself. God grounds Moses in reality. What's in your hand? A staff. Throw it down. Moses does, and it turns into a snake. He jumps back. Then God says, pick it up by the tail. That's terrifying, but Moses obeys. The snake becomes a staff again. Here's the symbolism. The serpent is a symbol of Egyptian royal power. Moses has to grab the snake by the tail, overcome his own fear, to wield divine authority. It's the first tool in the toolkit. God gives 2 more signs. First, put your hand inside your cloak. Moses does. When he pulls it out, it's leprous, diseased, white as snow. He puts it back, and it's healed instantly. This isn't a party trick. It's about absolute authority over life, health, and purity. Second, if they still don't believe, take water from the Nile and pour it on the ground. It will turn to blood. The sacred Nile, Egypt's lifeline, will become a symbol of death. It's a chilling preview of the plagues to come. You'd think Moses would be satisfied, but no, he's stuck on a human flaw. Lord, I'm not a good speaker. I'm slow of speech and tongue. God's reply, who gave people mouths? Who makes them deaf or mute? Who gives sight or makes blind? Is it not I, the Lord? The creator of speech itself can help Moses find the words, but Moses still isn't convinced. Moses makes one last desperate plea. Lord, please send someone else. And here, God's anger burns. But instead of replacing Moses, God gives him a partner, Aaron, his brother. Aaron can speak. Moses gets the message from God. Aaron delivers it to the people. It's a practical solution to a human problem. The team is formed. The toolkit is complete. And now, it's time to move. What if Moses heads back to Egypt, but before he goes, God gives him a heavy heads up. When you return, perform all the wonders I've given you, but I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and he will not let the people go. Wait, God will harden his heart? This isn't a political negotiation anymore. This is a divine showdown. And the stakes? God tells Moses to say to Pharaoh, Israel is my firstborn son. Let my son go. If you refuse, I will kill your firstborn son. A son for a son. The price for defiance is astronomical. Moses is on the road to Egypt with his wife Zipporah and their sons. Then, out of nowhere, the Lord meets him at a lodging place and tries to kill him. It's bizarre, terrifying. Zipporah acts fast. She takes a flint knife, circumcises their son, and touches Moses' feet with the foreskin, saying, You are a bridegroom of blood to me. And the Lord lets him alone. What just happened? Moses hadn't circumcised his son, breaking the covenant sign God gave to Abraham. Zipporah's quick action satisfies the divine obligation and saves Moses' life. It's a cryptic, bloody moment, but it connects the covenant to the Father and clears the way forward. Moses and Aaron finally arrive in Egypt. They gather the elders of Israel. Aaron speaks. Moses performs the signs. The staff becomes a snake. The hand turns leprous and heals. And the moment the people hear that God has seen their suffering and is concerned about them, they bow down and worship. Stage 1 is a success. The people believe. But here's the cliffhanger. What happens when this toolkit is presented to an adversary who has already decided to refuse? We've walked through doubt, divine power, partnership, and a bloody covenant moment. Before you go, sit with these questions. First, Moses kept focusing on his inadequacies, his speech, his credibility, his fear. What inadequacy are you using as an excuse to avoid what God might be calling you to do? Second, God gave Moses signs, a partner, and a promise, but also warned him the road would be hard. When God calls you to something difficult, are you looking for the toolkit He's already provided, or are you still negotiating your way out? 2 questions. Breathe. Let them settle.